All right, we are live from Champy's world famous chicken in Alabaster. Everybody's looking at their phone because they're all retweeting the fact that we're live here.
Trying to. I really can't get a good.
I can't. Rocky
No,
got
no,
his.
My
Mention,
gosh. Yeah.
I mean, I can send the one with the empty table.
It's not one of my gigs.
No, we're in my hometown. These are all my people that came out
I
to
know.
see me.
Yeah, Dunaway has delivered
whoa,
a crowd.
go Warriors! Hey,
Yeah.
all right.
I will tell you, we try to get out as much as we can, but I told Sterling if this was on 280, I would be there 3 times a week.
This place?
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, to eat? Oh
It
my
is
gosh!
a fantastic place. There's such a cool, like you can see behind us, kind of the deco of the place, and it looks this way all the way around. How would you describe it? The
Like-
dollars on the wall are really cool.
Yeah, like almost a cool roadhouse, something you would
Yeah.
see at a beach.
Yeah, I would agree.
Like if Floribama had a nice sidebar with good food.
Yeah. Yeah, this,
There you go.
basically, if they burned Floribama
Yeah,
down and
yeah.
started over,
Yeah.
that's what you're saying. Yeah.
But I mean, they've got a great beer selection. You know, if you're into a lot of craft beers, of course, I've got my my Stella here, brand loyal. But the food is just, it was overwhelming when we came here because I don't know, we all envision things differently. I thought when I got to Champions, it would be a smaller place where you would more so get carry out.
Right.
And the first time we walked in, I was blown away at how, spacious it is, how many people were here, and how just vast the menu is.
The way to describe it, I would say, is a juke joint. This is
Yeah,
a,
that's fair.
I would agree.
place where, you come and listen to blues, have some brews, and eat a little bird.
Oh God.
Well, I mean, that's literally the slogan, isn't it? Rockstar, you got a menu. What are you going to order?
I might go with the old standard chicken tenders.
Really?
Something I've been doing since I was 5. You never.
Yeah,
can beat
but
chicken
Hey.
I tell you
tenders.
what, you're going to love them here, though.
I,
This is going to
I
be
do love them. I actually got a tamale here once when he brought them to the state. Never had a tamale, and I would not have known until Sterling told me that you have to take the husk off.
Yeah, you can't eat the husk.
I've never done it before in my life, and I would have eaten the husk.
Poor Chuck never got one, did he?
And
He never did. He wanted one.
Well, I got hell from that from a lot of people.
Look, Jay's been here. He says, I love sitting at that bar and eating good beer, crazy good drumsticks. Luckily, only about 10 minutes from it. Well, let's go, Jay.
Yeah, come on.
We're here
Come
till
on,
5.
Jay.
Get
We're,
out. Get
we're
your
here
butt
for an
out here.
hour. Come give high five to Rockstar,
Yeah.
Just me.
who, by the way, has double logoed up today.
Yeah, Dunaway's trying to make fun of me.
I'm
It's
just
not going to
saying.
bother me. I don't care. It's not going to hurt my feelings.
By the way, Rockstar, as soon as he walks in, I'm sitting there eating. Rockstar walks in, says hi to Brown, and sits in that booth over there. Doesn't even acknowledge me.
I think
Yeah, I didn't even like.
you've
Well,
annoyed him.
Why
today.
are you
No, if
two?
you- if so-
why are
you're-
you mad at me?
So if you're eating a meal, do you want me to just
No,
while you're eating your meal?
I know plenty of people that do it.
Yeah, I'd rather you not just if you're not going to eat with me, just like there's no point just sitting there watching me eat.
I specifically went home.
And
to-
something tells me he was in a hurry. Like, well, I was trying to eat, and Rockstar just came in and tried to talk to me, just trying to get mentally
keeps
prepared for the
retraining.
show.
I was. Trying,
LT, he can't get his phone to work.
I went by the house just to get rid of my logo,
Yeah, you should never
T-shirt.
double logo, dude.
so I didn't double logoed
Yeah.
up. LT taught me that.
You
Last
think I
week.
got a virus showing you that video?
LT showed us a crazy video. before the
Christina
show.
Aguilera's back on stage.
Yeah.
Why did you turn your hat around, Rockstar?
Because I want a double logo. I want everybody to see that this is the logo.
You got one on the back.
Who's your favorite player on that team?
on the Tampa Bay
God,
Rays?
Look at Rockstar coming out firing.
Well,
man.
he's
You-
made the joke 3 times. It just hadn't landed yet.
You gotta get some sleep.
Yeah, I would love that.
Yeah.
Great.
There's that booth over there. You can get back in it if you'd like.
No, I'd be by myself. I'd look weird.
I didn't know you two were gonna fight when we came to Champy's. Champy's is a happy place, isn't it, Lance?
It
Why
really
are they
is.
fighting?
All right, look, there's a Christmas tree to our right made of Stella, Heineken, and Mountain Dew bottles.
That's pretty cool. I thought you'd like that
Oh, I
because all
think
the
it's-
Stella bottles.
Boy, the Stella and the Mountain Dew. I mean, those are it's my favorite beer and my favorite soft
I
drink.
know. I thought of you the moment I saw it. I even told Sterling, I was like, Lance is gonna love this because
Yeah.
he loves Stella and he loves Mountain Dew. I literally said those words.
Yeah, I brought it up not only because I like the look, but because, like you said, it's a festive, peaceful place.
Yeah.
Explain to people what is in the canister in the front.
Can they see that right
They can
now?
see it, yeah.
Oh yeah. That's my beer. Had a rough practice today. That's my backup. That's QB2.
He's in the cold tub
He's-
after
yeah.
practice.
He's about to get on the field, though. I'll tell you that.
4 minutes in.
We're going to talk about a lot of stuff out here this afternoon, but this is where I'm from. So I got to town about 2:30, and Brown said he's going to get here at 3, and I was going to time it out to have lunch with Brownie.
I got
So
here a little bit early.
He got here early, had lunch, but that's not the story. So I just started driving
You didn't eat
around.
with him either?
I started.
I laid that booth over there.
Yeah,
Golly,
but he was,
guys.
he was
I'm-
nice about it.
I'm single logo.
Yeah.
I'm only one logo.
Loser.
I know.
So I got to town and started driving by old places. You ever do that when you were in your old hometown, your neck of the woods ever?
Yeah, a little bit, but I mean, let's not pretend this is like the New Orleans
New York
layout
City.
an interview with a vampire in New Orleans modern day.
Well,
It's not like
I don't get around here a lot.
did you guys have street carts back then and people riding horses?
No,
That used to be
No.
a golf station. It's now a shell.
but I did go to the rec center where I was too poor to be a member. And I think I could afford it now.
Did you hop the fence?
No, the gates were open and you roll in. It says private property, and there were, the usual lifeguards and kids at the pool. But it doesn't look as glamorous as it used to when I was a kid growing up. But I rode by my friend Chris Baldwin, female Chris. Used to
Girl,
Spelled
female,
with a
Chris.
K?
Yeah.
with a K.
KRIS.
Used to have to stay at her house a lot. Friends with.
Did you have a nickname?
Nope.
Wait a minute. Wait. So how old were you when you were staying at her house?
Oh, anywhere from 11 to 15 or 16. Our families were friends.
Formative
so
years.
We're family friends.
Interesting.
So over at Chris's house a lot,
Dr.
especially
Dunaway.
after school.
But just
Just up the street was
Was it a-
Rebel Fox's house.
Right. Oh,
so,
you went to Rebel
so I
Fox's
rode,
house?
rode by Rebel Fox's old house.
Uh-huh.
You ever have two patients at one time?
Always
He had a waiting room.
Katie Wheeler, who I had the biggest crush on back in the
Right.
day.
Did Katie know that?
Rode by.
Damn, you
rode
sound
by
like
Katie.
that Dan Blitzering guy that's always he's got a bunch of chicks around him. He's got no friends.
No, I had no girlfriends. These are just people I liked. They gave me
Yeah.
no time of day.
Right.
Zero time.
You
of
spent
day.
the night with one of them.
Went by Katie Wheeler's house and Mark McCune's house.
I bet he had a nickname.
David Hill. We used to play wiffle ball in the backyard of David Hill's house. Plum tree that we used to steal plums off of. Saw all that this afternoon.
Did you like plums? Really?
Green.
You liked them green? I hated them
Green.
green. They were
Oh.
so bitter.
green?
I used to play golf with a guy named Kevin Darty. And on number 14 at Indian Oaks, there was a plum tree in a backyard, and he'd go grab just a handful of those green ones, and he'd
Yeah.
hold it in his mouth like
Me too.
like a chaw.
yeah, you'd eat
Just
half
go-
of it and then put the other half
Yeah.
in there and suck on that thing
He'd
all
play
day.
golf with it. It was, they were so bad.
Get salt in your hand. Eat that.
Yeah,
thing
I
up.
like a plum when it's good and purple.
Did y'all ever do the honeysuckles?
Yeah,
Oh
yeah, I love the smell of it.
You, Rocky?
The taste of it, you get like a
Yeah.
teeny tiny, like
Yeah,
thin
it's a small taste.
syringe full of something.
I thought
Yeah.
we may have a few out there, but maybe in the
It's like
springtime.
That's poison ivy.
it's how Jay Alexander's does their ketchup.
oh,
That is a weird thing to skimp on. Isn't
It really
That's
is.
like,
It really
wow,
is.
that's got to be the cheapest thing they got in their
yeah.
kitchen.
I bet it's gone up 400%
Well, it
since
probably
Biden took
has.
office.
It's not
but-
called that anymore. It's not called J. Alexander's anymore.
It's called Redlands Grill.
Yeah, Redlands Grill.
I don't know why they made that change, but you know what? They changed it on the actual building, Rockstar, on the
Yeah.
facade, but they did not change their sign out front. The sign still says J. Alexander's.
Well,
It's
the-
right there on Galleria Circle.
see, I don't like to eat at places like that because then I'm afraid they're cutting corners.
I have you ever had their pork tenderloin there? It's got a really good sauce with it. I found it's very simple to make, but it's like a Asian spicy, almost like Asian barbecue sauce.
They have an amazing
Phenomenal.
carrot cake.
Do they really?
It comes out hot. The icing.
I
Oh my
never had
god.
it. God, I love cream cheese icing on carrot
Oh.
cake.
Me too.
You know, I had the caramel cake here. Really, really good. You had it too, didn't you,
Delicious. I
Dunaway?
did.
Oh, I
I
need
did.
to try
Yeah,
that.
caramel
Yeah.
cake's good, LT.
So what's the it's not Taziki's, what's the place Zoe's?
Uh-huh.
I think I told you all that story when I was living in the hotel back in the day and all their corporate people came in when they were going through that merger.
Yeah.
Did you tell them
And
they screwed up their menu?
Yeah, I was just telling them, I was like, I can't believe you took the Greek quesadilla off the menu.
Yeah.
And I was like, and when you give salsa, you don't give it in a shot cup.
That's right.
I was
Yeah,
like, salsa ain't that
it's
expensive.
freaking salsa. You ought to give me a jar of it.
And they all pretty much
Rolled their
closed
eyes.
out. Well,
Yeah.
they pretty much closed out and got up.
Yeah, but at this point, you were right.
It was
the product has gone.
constructive feedback.
When the Casimus family owned it, it was spot on.
Yeah, like I don't mind if our listeners reach out to us and say, "Hey, look, I think you're doing this the wrong way."
Yeah.
Now, we
Right.
might not listen.
Yeah, but I at least like the feedback.
Yeah.
We'd like to know.
Yeah. Ask us anything here, live from Champy's, Highway 119, Alabaster. Great place to come for lunch or dinner. Sterling and the crew here do an amazing job.
There's Sterling over there right now.
Yep, Sterling's here. You come talk to the owner, Sterling. He's just hanging out. He's here all the time. Chicken on the stick, those Mississippi Delta tamales.
It's one of those places they put the dollars on the wall.
Okay, can I ask you guys a couple of questions?
Yeah,
Sure.
we've got some lined up here.
You
Fire
can
away.
ask us
Okay.
anything.
Well, I'll hold mine.
You want to hold? Let's
Yeah,
hold for a
I'll
minute.
hold.
We'll come back to them. We will start. The first one in was Jeff. Out of all the years you've worked together, do you each have a favorite moment of the show? Jeff asked on YouTube.
I still think my favorite moment I think when I look back, it might end up being Chuck on set with us.
Oh wow, really?
Yeah, but
Even including the Jocks days,
yeah, going back to the Jocks days, the Rockstar,
cricket balls.
no, the Los Excellences.
Oh yeah,
Excelencia.
Yeah, that was. I've never laughed that hard on the
Yeah.
air in all
Yep.
the years. 20 plus years. of
That was
doing
our
this.
first year together.
Was it really?
Because
Yeah.
I almost didn't put that story in trash.
We
Like
were-
if I have that on a computer
I
somewhere,
know. I was this close because there was a lot of looks I was getting in some of the trash stories I was doing. I was like, I just didn't know what the both of you.
both of
I
us.
was
Both
going
of
to say I apologize for looking at you like that.
No, but no, because that was when we were
Well, we
still
were
trying
still
to
learning each
find
other,
our way.
yeah.
And there was like,
Yeah.
I saw this last
Oh
Excelencia.
boy,
and I was
there
like,
wasn't one of us that wasn't laughing hard.
I thought
Oh,
that was
I
such a
loved
funny
it.
story, but I was like, I don't know. I'm going to get some looks once he starts reading those headlines, like going, okay, there's
It-
gunshots in
it-
this.
we unfortunately lost that in the transition.
maybe.
Well, I think 100%.
Oh, we lost the rights to
The
it.
rights to it.
Yeah,
Yeah. We
yeah.
cannot play that anymore.
No, but-
Cumulus Media owns the rights to all of that, so I mean they can play it all they want. We
Might be able to-
encourage them to do so. By the way,
Buy it back one day, right?
potentially, I'd like to. I assume all that stuff still exists. Do you have the backup, Rockstar? I mean, you've actually got it. We just can't play it, right?
I don't know if I have the backup. I know somebody that can probably give us the backup. That's a nice
See,
person.
I've got like one-on-one interviews with certain people that I had, and I don't know where they are, and I really want them because I'd love to play them for my kids.
I would be interested to see if our viewers and listeners would want us to do this. I have mentioned this a couple of times and gotten zero traction with these guys in the meetings, but I think we should take like that episode of that trash story and recreate it.
I just think it would be hard to
Yeah.
recreate.
Yeah,
It's
I
hard
would.
to-
I would
No.
feel like we're forcing it though.
No, I mean, we go back and we listen to it word for word, laughter and everything, and we do it like the Friends reunion. We sit around and read the story and almost like a script,
Brown
laugh here, Brown laughs.
Brown cackles here.
Yeah, Dunaway goes, "Oh, people died. Are we really going to laugh at this?" You know,
Dunaway-
something
But
like
then we have
that.
probably different sponsors you have to throw to.
Dunaway cuts. Dunaway cuts glance at Rockstar.
Yeah.
Mine, I think, is the cricket balls joke.
That was
It's
a
gonna
good
be.
one.
It's gonna be something Rockstar did. God, there was one time you did something that I laughed at an entire weekend, and I swear I can't remember what it was.
I think the abruptness of Lance throwing that tangerine at the window.
You remember
Well, I
that?
can't
See if
believe
you can
it.
make it explode.
And there was
They
still
didn't think
juice.
it would bust, and I was like, we've got a
You
better
pulverized
chance
it.
of the entire glass
Nope,
shattering.
nope. I know what it is.
It hit 4 or 5 TVs.
I know. It did. There was the day we left Jocks. There was still tangerine bits all over
Oh,
that studio.
100%. Had not been clean.
Oh, well, I bet they're still there.
Oh, 100%. Yeah. I'll tell you.
we put a post-it by a dead cockroach one time.
We did. Yeah. I'll tell.
And it was resurrected and moved to post it.
I'll tell you what it is. And this was off the air, but it was our first trip to the Selma Quarterback Club.
Oh God!
Oh my goodness.
So, and I know we've told this story
The
before,
first bombing.
but since Jeff asked, it was a Selma Quarterback Club, and it was at some club down there. It wasn't a golf course; it was like some social club that was on the Alabama River.
Yep.
And it was like this old antebellum house, and then there was this massive yard with trees all over it, and they had set up tons of tables, like hundreds of people sitting out there. And then there was this deck that was kind of a stage with the Alabama River behind us.
You could see from the river like some crocodiles, right? Or
No,
alligators.
They were,
What were they?
they were talking
know what?
about there's alligators out there.
What's crazy is because I saw this cool tree. I took a picture out. You know what date that was? What year it was?
2012.
2011.
No, I had the Funkmaster Flex because we.
That's
took
right.
It.
That's what we took.
It was 2013.
August 29th, 2011.
You've got a photo of it.
I got a picture of a tree where I said the roots were running away from the ground.
Yep.
That's true.
I took that was behind us. And
So-
that's August 29th, 2011.
So we do our normal what? Oh
You
yeah,
got it
you got it right. Yeah.
Yeah.
We do our normal, our normal bit. Like Lance tells some stories and tries to make people laugh, and then Dunaway tells some stories, try to make people, and then I tell some stories and try to make people laugh.
Nobody's
And
left
The
yet.
one
by the way.
thing that hasn't happened yet is anybody laughing. Like we completely bombed. All three of us bombed. And Rockstar had already done a song, and then we were like, Rockstar, could you sing us another song? Do something. So Rockstar gets up and on the fly does a song about an alligator in the Alabama River that has eaten everybody's laughs. And we are howling. I mean, we're like, I remember literally having to wipe tears off my face.
Because it's
And-
uncomfortable.
And still nobody's laughing.
Tremendously funny to us.
Oh, God.
No, what
yes.
I figured out is there's old money in Selma, but there's no
Sense of humor?
Yeah.
Well, here's the thing. No, we went back this past summer. What?
Did you cut eyes at me? This year when we did it,
It was
Dunaway-
much better.
well, not for me. Dunaway goes, I think you should do the cricket ball joke with dude in Eli's voice. I go, I do a terrible Eli, but that's how we're going to open this. So I opened it with the cricket jokes, and it's just like literal crickets. And then that's
Yeah.
we're like, all right, we're from the next round. We're gonna. I was like, oh no, these guys
It
are
went better
pumped.
this time. Dunaway, you got anything different?
Oh,
Well, I'd be interested in Rockstars too.
okay.
I
but
saw the tangerine thing from Lance.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
To me, my favorite part of us being together all of these years, it's a little sentimental, but it was the end of the first show on this platform because it was stressful, but we had so much fun building this thing out about this time a year ago, coming up with the name and logos and all that stuff, and getting our initial sponsors like Sterling here at Champy's was an original sponsor, and sort of setting sail on this journey. And then scrambling, I mean, coming up on weekends and staying late and everything, wondering if all the wires that had been plugged together, if any of it was going to work, because we had zero chance to really test it.
And changed engineers halfway through the process. We had
Thank
to change
God.
engineers.
Thank God,
Yeah. Well,
yeah.
thank God we did. But
Yeah.
yes.
And so then, it becomes that Monday morning and everybody's waiting for us to go on the air on August the 16th and, or on the platform on August the 16th. And we're still wondering, and local news has come by and done interviews and the cameras are waiting and we're about to start. We don't even know if the thing's going to take off.
I know.
And then it did. And, 4 hours go and it all worked. And at the end, I mean, I remember getting back in the car and driving home and telling Maggie that was amazing. That was really amazing that it all had happened in such a short period of time and how it all had worked out. It had worked out. I was really just blown away by that.
And then that night, we all had a party. What was that at Wine Loft?
That's also the night we found out we were pregnant.
Yep.
Really?
Yeah.
I did not know that.
I
Uh-huh.
was wondering why Nancy was drinking
No,
so much.
that
so
was
here's the story goes. I'll let it go. I'll go ahead and tell it. She didn't drink that night,
and my wife noticed that, by the way.
and I remember she had this little red jumpsuit. Like, you're gonna wear that? She goes, it may be the last time we'll be able to wear it. Okay, so then we had food, and we drove separately because she was coming from work from Creature from downtown. So I remember party was wrapping up, and my stomach dropped, and I was like, I gotta get home. I gotta go home now. And she's like, all right, well, can I get in your car and you drive me to my car to my
Stomach
park?
dropped as like you got to take a shit.
Yes.
Okay.
And it's one of those things where like I got 10 minutes max. I got to get home. I can't go here because everybody's taking the food out. But everybody was left.
Yeah.
So
Shot clock.
I drop her off at her car and I ass home. Get home, Dumb and Dumber. And I'm in there for a while, and I'm like, it's like she was right behind me. Why is she not here yet? And then so she comes. I hear her come in, and I was like, where were you? She goes, I stopped by the drugstore. I was like, okay.
Was she about to piss on a stick?
Yep. But the best thing she said, teasing me since we've been together, she said, I know exactly how I'm going to tell you I'm pregnant because you're supposed to make it fun for the dad because it's a scary time,
Yeah.
especially for a first time. So I know exactly how I'm going to do this, and it's going to be so funny. You're going to be so surprised. So I'm on the throne, and then she knocks on the door. She said, for some reason, I wanted to get a pregnancy test. I was like, okay. So she goes to her bathroom, and then I'm still in there. I'm opening the door, peering out. What's it say? And she won't say anything. I was like, Nancy, and she won't say anything. And she's like, can you come here for a second? And I penguin walk over, and she said, does this look like a blue line or not, whatever it's supposed to be? And I was like, because it said it can be a shade of purple or blue means positive. And I was like, I really can't tell. I'm not being. And then she did another one. This one says a digital yes or no. She's going to do this. So we're for 15 minutes. We're looking at this one. It finally says yes. And I was like, is this the fun way you're going to tell me? And she's like, no. And she's like, this is crazy. So that was the day of our first show.
So what do you do if you're colorblind with one of those tests?
You probably go with the digital one
Yeah,
that says
wait.
yes or no.
Wait 9 months.
What do you think the fun way was going to be?
She said what she was going to do. I can't remember. Something to
She was
do.
going to bounce out naked with a +1 on her stomach.
Wow.
Wow.
So awkward.
She was going to do something. It was something with Lance where she was going to call in. And she was going to say something. I was like, I'm the one because she said I was going to be on the phone and Lance was going to go to me or something like that. And I was going to say something about a viewing menu or something like that. I was like, I screen the calls. Like I wouldn't,
Yeah.
and you're not going to be able to describe your, disguise your voice. But okay, she was going to do something with the show where she's going to tell it on the air.
Yeah.
Well,
And that did not happen.
Well, she could have got somebody to call when
Yeah,
they're watching
she
football.
wanted to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She could,
Yeah.
I don't know, but that was the plan. But it turned out I was on the toilet.
It's JT in Huntsville. JT, what do you want to talk about?
Hey guys.
Hey, it's Nancy.
Yeah.
Hey, Nancy.
Yeah, that was also the night that we got to the party and our attorneys said, "Hey, we need to talk for a minute."
Yeah.
Somebody got a phone call.
It was a
It was a fun night.
yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, there you go, Jeff. That was a long answer to your question. Paul asked, "Can we get a mystery fifth hour on Succession? Best show right now." Riley follows up, "Brown won't watch it, Paul." Actually, I do watch it. Riley.
You know, it's funny. I met a couple, and this is interesting. So, dude's from Connecticut. Girl is from Long Island. They go to Tuscaloosa not knowing each other, and they end up together. You know, you would think, what are the odds of two Northeastern people coming to campus in Tuscaloosa and ended up together?
That's right.
And so anyway, we what people like us do, we start talking about shows, and they're like, "Is Succession good?" Everybody tells us to watch
Fantastic.
it, and I'm like, it really is the best show on TV, in my opinion. Some people don't like it though.
yeah.
Rocky didn't like it, did you?
Do you
I did.
catch,
I gave it 3 episodes. I mean, I didn't hate it, but it didn't suck me in.
do you catch yourself lately how many times you say it's the best show on television?
No, I mean, I know Succession's the best.
Really?
We need to keep a list, I think.
No, the best of
Okay.
all time is Sopranos.
Okay.
Close second is Breaking Bad. Better Call Saul's right there, but I think Succession is better than
And where's The Wire?
The Wire's in the top 10.
In the top 10.
Deadwood's top 10.
Game of Thrones.
Game of Thrones is top 10. I'm not going to run out. Mad Men's top 10.
Yeah.
See, I just started.
Curb's top 10.
Now I just started Mad Men, and we're done with the first season. It's so good.
It really is
So
isn't it?
good. I would say this: Don Draper, John Hamm's a phenomenal actor.
He really is. He doesn't get enough.
He really doesn't.
credit, and I think.
Do you like him in Top Gun?
I
the new
haven't
one?
seen it yet.
Oh, you haven't seen it? Yeah. Do you like him in Top Gun?
Yeah.
Rocky, have you
plays
seen it?
that
So
role?
I haven't
as you would
seen a movie in
expect it.
forever.
You know, he was in The Town. He was in Baby Driver.
Bridesmaids.
He was in Bridesmaids.
Yep.
But he could be a really good leading man.
Oh, I think so.
Yeah.
But he just plays.
He's so comfortable.
I've told you through one season, Don Draper is one of the most complicated movie or TV characters I've ever seen.
It gets more complicated.
Does he really? Because you want to hate him,
That's exactly what I told him.
you want to feel sorry for him. I mean, it's just
Same thing with Walter White.
Yeah.
One day he's a bad guy. One day he's a good guy.
No, Walter White was very complicated too, because I think more so with Walter White, though, you put yourself in his situation.
Yeah.
Like if he was in this situation, or if I was in this situation, what would I do? I don't necessarily do that with Don Draper. But
But with Don Draper, you're by at least the end of the first season, you're like, it seems okay that he's cheating on his wife with all these women. It almost makes sense.
Well, I think he's a true sociopath, and like a lot of sociopaths, the only thing they can truly love themselves and their kids, and he's that kind of guy. He's
complicated.
But
But you could,
he's cold, man.
he is, and you could tell a
So
lot.
good at what he does, though.
Yeah, he is. All right, so well, Joe, you joke. I mean, when does Succession start back? Do you know?
I could look. Sure they're
So
filming.
we could do one right before it starts back, right? Do a Mr. Fifth Hour
I'd
on
love
that.
to, because
Yeah.
I think this is going to be the last season.
Jason says he enjoyed your interview with Brittany. I have not had a chance to watch all of it. I will confess the tease we played. I went and filmed that portion of the interview and watched the rest of it. And
sex sells, man.
there are, I'm sure, tons of interesting parts, but her insight on all these coaches that came by, I found very fascinating.
Yeah, so I haven't seen it. I hadn't seen any of it outside of what we showed the tease, but we walked in with David Walls today, and he said he watched the entire thing a minute ago. And he said, and not that this is a high bar, because we've only done 3 last calls. We did Taylor Hicks, Clay Travis, and Brittany. He said Brittany was by far his favorite.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah. I found it.
She,
I found it
she
very
looks
interesting.
better than them, though. So.
She does. She better look at
does.
the Claire Taylor. There's no doubt about that. Jay works at Stillwater's Golf Course. Wonders if any of us have played there lately. He loves our show and listens every day on the app. It has been a while since I've played Stillwater's down in Dadeville.
I've never played it. I would
It's a fun place, yeah.
love to play one day. Many times we pulled is that the one with the par 3 down to the water?
Probably.
Like on the lake
It's been
there?
a long time. Well, they've got a new 18, and I don't know which 18 you would be talking about. It has been a long time since I played Stillwater's. So
Inevitably I get a lot of alcohol in me on the boat, not driving, and I'll convince the driver to take us over where the downhill shot is coming down. towards the water. It's a par 3. And,
I think you're thinking of Willow Point.
maybe
Yeah.
I am. I'd love to play Stillwater though. I've heard
Well, we'll
great
go down there.
things.
Well, hopefully Jake can hook us up with. We're trying to get our friends at Wickles back on air.
That's
Ah,
right. Go
yes.
see Wickles. Tell him
We-
to meet us at Stillwater.
We miss Wickles.
Ryan has a question for you, Rockstar.
Sure, Ryan.
Is there a backstory to you stuttering through the announcement of trivia?
I don't know why I did it. I did it. It's the same thing with Gary the Gator. I don't know how I came up with that voice. I just started doing it.
I know how you came up with the Gary the Gator voice, but
I'm saying like I don't know how the
Yeah.
trivia thing.
Right.
Will Lockamy thought it was a thing to South Park for Jimmy, who stutters a lot, but it wasn't. I really don't know, and I tried to change it up.
So when he comes back out, is he a Cowboy or a Cowboys fan?
okay. I'll look when he comes
Yeah.
back out.
Oh, I would say that also he is a Bikers Club Tony Curry.
Oh, I could see that.
when
Yeah,
he comes
just in a
back.
brief
Watch
look.
the beard.
Now he's going to need to be on his phone for you guys to understand what I'm talking about.
All right. That woman that left with a to-go order right there was staring the heck out of us, trying to figure out what we were
Yeah.
doing. And I did the way better, and she does this right here. She goes,
Yeah, she had Will Zalatoris' legs.
she did. She was skinny as a snake, wasn't she?
By the way, Succession, they early winter of 2023.
That's the next
23,
time it's back
yeah.
on?
Well, I'm sure they're filming. They still got to do everything. So
Down a few octaves there.
That
Little-
is the next time it's back on.
that's what I'm seeing on these. I don't know. See, the last what was it? 2020 was their last.
I had to
season?
think for a second. Did I watch the final? I did watch the
Yeah.
final episode, but I thought that was the ending. But I
Bad-
guess it's not.
Bad
Yes.
twist in that final episode.
It was.
Trip is up next on YouTube. Have any of the four of you seen the first 2 episodes of The Old Man on FX starring Jeff Bridges?
God.
Best show on TV, right?
Seriously, I've had 3 people say that
Yeah.
this weekend.
He says it's a spy thriller that LT would really like, and you do, don't you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I watched. Me and Jack watched on Sunday night. I thought it was incredible. Jeff Bridges is so good. That's one of the underrated actors over the last really 5 decades. I mean, he's won an Academy Award.
What's
but
his
he's really good.
best?
Tron.
Yeah, probably Trent.
What
No.
did he win? What did he,
Against all odds.
what did he win the Academy for? True Grit.
No.
No,
True
Crazy
Country?
Heart.
No, Crazy Heart. Yeah.
He didn't win it for True Grit.
No.
Didn't you think he was phenomenal in True
He was
Grit?
really good. Yeah. I think it's hard though to replicate a character like that was portrayed by what is seen as a great actor before. So John Wayne did that character, and then for him to do it, it was really
Yeah.
difficult to kind of compare.
Yeah, I
those
can see
guys.
that. Blake, another question for you, Rockstar, on YouTube. What is the one song you absolutely cannot stand for people to request for you to play?
Can I guess?
I think I would know it too.
Okay, I'm gonna go with that Sally song. What is it?
Mustang Sally,
Mustang
People don't,
Sally.
people don't ask for that.
Brown Eyed Girl.
It used to be Brown Eyed Girl. It
She
used to be,
talks to angels.
no, I had one guy. You probably
That's
know
Brown
him.
that does that, right?
Oh, he did it. Well, he had
played-
his guitar off though.
Two events I played with this person, and this guy came up to me. And it was his thing was he'd have a $20 bill in his hand, and he'd say, "Hey, can I do She Talks to Angels? You play it, I sing it." And I was like,
What a! I mean,
and he would shake my hand and put a $20 bill.
who
in.
requests that?
And
really?
it wasn't awful, but it wasn't good. But this guy thought he was Chris Robinson, and
Yeah.
it's just like, and he's done it. He did it again, like where he
Does
didn't
he-
remember. I was like, dude, we've done this dance before. We did this time last
Hey, does
year.
he do the Chris Robinson thing like that? Hey.
No. He was a corporate looking guy.
Okay.
But no,
So-
I don't really get a lot of requests. I used to get Dixieland Delight. I've never played it before. I get a lot of country requests that I've like the new thing is people get their kids to come up. Like a
Mhm.
5-year-old going, "Do you know Dixieland Delight?" I don't. Okay. And she walks over and does this to her dad, and her dad like, it's like, so you try to get
You know
your
what you can
kid
do next time
to do
to throw him off?
Yeah.
Say, do you really know who your father is?
It's like, go ahead.
Yeah, go back and ask.
Hey, look at
Yeah,
this.
Hey, thank you.
QB3's
Um,
in the tub.
Come
I'm
on,
good.
Dunaway, step it up.
I'll take a Bud Light.
So you should say, tell your dad I don't know it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tell your mom I sang it last
Yeah,
night.
yeah.
That might start some fights. Dave and Andrea listen to us on the 690 AM days. How long ago does that seem to you guys?
Seems a long time ago, but thank you so much.
Yeah.
In a
We-
way, it
we-
seems like a long time.
I
but
haven't
it-
been on 690 since 2004. Maybe.
What was our last day on there? 09?
It
10?
was the
Early
day
10?
we left here to
I know.
join him.
It was early 10, right?
It would be what was our old anniversary? February 18th.
February, no, I think it was Valentine's Day. The Rockstar will love
That's
that.
awesome.
I know.
That's right.
I know.
Because
I
we
knew
found
that.
out
I
about
said
it when we were having that
That is
dinner together.
poetic.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah.
Poetic.
Splitting a chocolate cake.
Yeah. I don't care. I don't care where we go after
It
this.
was not a chocolate cake. It was one of those chocolate mousse things.
Vanilla milkshake, 2 straws.
TJ asks, is the Brittany interview going to be podcast? Lunsford, can you give me we'll podcast that, right? On the audio side, Lunsford, thumbs up. Thumbs up from Lunsford. Yes, it will be.
How about with Lunsford watching in
I know.
the shadows
Behind
there.
the stage. Paul says La Excelencia was the funniest thing ever. It really was funny.
Hey, thank you.
See if
And
I
then-
can
thank
find
you
the
so
Thank
much.
you. And then Riley follows up with, can y'all gain access to the rights to your old content? That's a good question, Riley. I don't know how that would turn out.
Go bang your monkey.
What?
You know what Rome used to
That's
say?
what he used to say, yeah. Yeah. Lunsford,
Maybe it wasn't bang your monkey.
No,
Give
it was.
something.
It was bang your monkey,
Who
yeah.
is our monkey?
It would have been our old boss.
Lunsford says pull a Taylor Swift and re-record everything. We could
That
do
was my idea.
I know. I like Lunsford's idea, though.
That's a good idea.
Yeah, let's do that.
Lunsford,
I say we do
crap.
it. Yep.
You of course would get credit, Lunsford. I don't know where you are in the shadows here.
Yeah.
But my goodness.
Riley thinks British Maggie is a great bit. I do like British Maggie.
Oh, you guys would love British Maggie.
Yeah.
She does so many. I really, honest to goodness, this is, my ego, right?
Yeah.
If you kicked me out and added Maggie to the band, it would be like Journey. She could hit a lot better notes than me. She
Well, I believe that.
she does.
It's not going the way he wanted
I
it to go.
know.
No, she
yeah.
wouldn't.
No,
No,
I'm
Jim,
being
we-
honest. She can do impersonations. She's got a better sense of humor than me. She's a lot smarter than I am.
Well, look, when we went on that trip last year for the roommate,
Yep.
I told her she needs to come on the show
Oh,
and make appearances.
I tried to get her
But
to
it
do.
needs to be on like these. She has a couple of cocktails.
Yeah.
relax.
Get a few
Yeah.
cocktails there.
Well, now that she's a pastor, she's going to frown about that. But if she called up privately, she could do some bits, no doubt. With
Look,
we'll call her like Nasty Maggie or something.
Brown-
Yeah.
but that one- correct me if I'm wrong. Last
right.
supper they were drinking wine, right?
Oh yeah, wine is consumed in the Bible. Yeah, that's Jesus's first miracle. Actually, Lance, was they were at a wedding party and they ran out of wine, and he told them, "Bring me some water," and he turned it into wine.
I've heard
Johnny
about
Cash
that.
did a song about it.
So I think we get her a bottle of Yellowtail and let her go.
Thanks for spending the $8.95 on the
Not
gallon
a
jug.
problem. Well, we can do the $2 chuck.
Well, high end, huh?
She likes that stuff. $2 chuck.
It's really not bad, boy. We wore it out in the pandemic.
January 18th, 2011 was the story.
What story? La Excelencia.
Yeah.
Well, that would have been
Oh, so
our
you felt it.
anniversary. Or close to it.
Guadalajara, Mexico.
Yeah, that's pretty close to a year after we started. We were a year in. There's no way we were
You know
still
what we
cutting
should have done? There's
What?
got to be surviving members, right?
of La Excelencia.
Let's get them to play our 1 year anniversary.
Oh, that would be great.
And then tell them
That'd be
that
great.
you keep playing.
Yeah.
Keep
That's
playing.
right. I'll
You
throw a
see this grenade?
You know how the story goes. You got to keep playing.
I bet they never stop.
How awesome would that be if we could get them to
Oh,
play?
it'd be fantastic.
Or if we just brought one to
Yeah.
town.
Yeah, surviving member.
Yeah, might be only one left. I think one might have gone down with a monkey this weekend.
Chances are good he's already in our country.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
Hey, we're live at Champy's world famous fried chicken, Highway 119. Hold up that menu, Rockstar, so people can see the extensive menu they have there at
Oh.
Champy's.
Two sides. Two
Two sides of that
Give
menu.
me a
look.
tight shot, Forster. Zoom in for me.
Do you have that clip already, Rockstar?
Yeah, I do.
Rockstar,
It's
we're
cut
gonna-
number 3.
cut number 3. Nope, cut number 4.
I love the snacks for you. I don't know if you guys ever saw I'm Gonna Get You, Sucker.
Yes.
When
Keenan Ivory Wayans.
no, Chris Rock comes in and he just wants one wing.
Yeah. Just
And
one
you
wing.
can get a single wing here.
Well, there you
one
go.
wing.
Yeah,
One rib.
I like it.
Boy, that is a tease job, one single wing. Isn't it?
And are you cheering at that point for a flat or for
Oh, drums.
a drum?
Yeah, I like the drums.
My wife bought one of those air fryers. Do you guys have one of
Oh,
those?
Yeah. Yeah.
And so I went to the supermarket and got supermarket. I don't know why I called it that. I went to the grocery store. I'm from Saks. I call it a grocery store.
The general store.
I went to the grocery store and got a couple packs of those drums and just put a little seasoning on them and did them in that air fryer. Those are fantastic. You do wings in there?
So
Okay.
we got this too, the smoked sausage, cheese, and pickle plate.
Yeah.
It's very good. Obviously they got the wings. The tamales you can't go.
Brown
away
had
from it.
tamales.
I had
today,
tamales for lunch.
and
when I
not
got
even a
here.
huge fan of tamales, and he came here and got them.
Who, me?
Yeah.
I love tamales. What are you
There you
talking
go,
about?
see? I don't know everything about him.
Hot
Rockstar.
tamales.
I'm gonna do
Weird.
tamales.
They're good.
Yep.
So anyway, Champy's 119 world famous chicken. We're here for about another half hour or so. McBeaver.
Hey, guy.
Hey.
I remember he's on Twitch. I remember when I first found the sports radio shows in Birmingham through LT. He did a show with LT and Fitz. They did a Madden tournament at Innisfree. Do you remember that?
Okay. You know what I remember?
He said,
the
I followed
most?
him for that day on and found the round table, ILY guys. That
The-
means I love you, right?
Okay.
What I remember most about that is I was dead set that I was going to win the Madden tournament going into Innisfree because we had done one the year before, Buffalo Wild Wings, and I lost in the finals. And Bethany went into labor. And I had to get induced with Jack.
Young Jack.
Yeah. And I'll never forget, Aaron Andrews was on that show. We had the Madden tournament. Ian had just started like 2 weeks before. And I had to call at like 8 in the morning. I was like, I'm not going to be able to make it to Innisfree.
God, that's such a good show, you and Ian.
It was fun.
Really
It
was.
was fun.
No, it
No,
was.
Jim, I love working with you much more.
I enjoyed those. I enjoyed
gotta
those
be honest.
days.
Can you
Rocky
imagine if it was Ian, Lance, and Maggie though?
Rocky was part of it. I like this show. That is my second favorite show of all time. This is my favorite show.
Oh, thanks, Lance.
On my kids. No, it really is.
Sentimental LTs.
I love it. Landmine Believer, was that a man or a woman LT interviewed on that train? For sanity, I have to know.
I think it was a woman. And when she had sunglasses on and it was early morning and I was still a little foggy, from a distance, she looked okay.
You know, I've got to say, when I first saw, I think that was like Frozen, I thought the same thing.
Yeah.
And then,
No, when
you
I
know.
got up on her, I was like, oh, God.
Yeah.
Then I was a little confused that I started to think maybe she is a man.
She did have that choker covering the Adam's apple area.
Yeah.
She
You
did.
just have to ask.
Dunaway
did.
said she had a little, who'd you say she had
Penny
a little?
Lane. A lot of people on Twitter, the
The
Kate
hair.
Hudson,
The hair.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Penny Lane and Michael Strahan.
Had
Yeah.
had a baby.
Yeah, she did that. Had the stray hand.
Jason wants to know on YouTube, can we have Herb Winches on weekly? I don't know that Herb would want to do weekly. He's been on once before. Maybe
He's
we-
too busy.
Yeah.
We can't afford Herb weekly.
I
mean-
we can afford John Mechie weekly.
Oh,
We
yeah,
can't afford
Herb's
Herb.
Herb be
working
better.
his ass off at the landing. So if
Yeah.
you ever go to Lake Martin, go see Herb. Tell him next round said.
Riley wants Lunsford to start a video game entertainment podcast. I would love that. I think that'd be very good for Lunsford.
By the way, I had a conversation with a roommate on the way over here. I am really dead set on that podcast I pitched to you guys today.
On the name?
Even the name, because if we spell it out,
No, I've come around a little bit on
Yeah.
the name. I thought about it a little bit longer. I think we need to discuss it.
Yeah.
I'm not just going to turn it down.
well, here's
Outta
what
hand.
here's what I'd like to do. The two participants that we've talked about,
Uh-huh.
we all take them to lunch because again, they've got a common best friend. Let's just talk it out, what we envision, what
Yeah.
they envision, and just see what
I
they say.
think
about
Then
it.
when they do the
comment-
check, we go, oh, by the way, here's the name of the podcast.
I think
Is the common best friend you?
No.
Oh.
I'm good friends with both of them, but they've got like a really, really good common friend.
I think one person will be all about the name you came up with, and one will be hesitant.
I think both will be all about the name.
Okay, I
I
could be wrong.
I think the one that I know more, that I'm
The one
closer-
you've known the longest.
the one I've known the longest will
Should be all
will
about the
be
name.
all about the
Yeah.
name.
And I'm hesitant about the other one.
No, I agree with that.
Yeah.
I think the other one, 2 cocktails.
Yep.
Good to go.
Dunaway, did you drink your Bud Light?
Not yet. I'm waiting for it to be handed over this way.
Oh, sorry.
Oh my God, it's been sitting there for 20 minutes.
Jeez. Well, I've never seen you character act before either. It was very good.
Rhett asks, do you plan on more listener input on future bracket punishments after this year's was a luxury punishment? That was not a luxury punishment. You guys pick it every year.
Yeah.
Every year y'all do this.
And it wasn't. And again, I was the one that was strongly against this one.
Do you see how annoying it is when people, because this happens every
Yeah.
year, and it's happened to me more than anybody because I've done it more than anybody, how people like to nitpick any piece of luxury
Yeah.
that's in the bracket punishment.
That's it. They latch on to the non-punishment part.
Yeah,
And they don't
which is like 10% of it.
right. They don't understand the
Everything
The
else is the
pain,
punishment.
yeah.
Yeah.
And even me going to a Cubs game, I was in a tornado warning. I didn't see a pitch.
Yeah.
Go to Salina, Kansas, and hang out in that hotel that I was at.
I mean, just I never thought you would get on. And now, if you'd have come back and had sort of danced around the bus and the
No,
train,
I was going to do that.
If you had done that and stayed at the Waldorf, and
and I get
all
that.
that, I'd have been like, well, this wasn't much of a
Mm.
punishment. But you actually getting on a Greyhound bus for 6 hours and on an Amtrak train for 7, that's all it took for me. I mean, you could have ridden from Montgomery to
Well, I
Huntsville.
thought originally we were going to be in Seattle. I really did. And I knew I was going to have to take the train a long, long time because there was no way I was going to be able to drive it in less than a week. So I figured that I was going to take the train. I was going to get on the bus for like a block or two.
yeah.
A block or two.
But I'm telling you, the
bus
bus
scares
is-
me the most.
well, yeah, it should.
Yeah.
The bus is what took Leighton off the rails. She was never the same after the bus.
Yeah. No, I mean, you hate to stereotype, but it's sort of is air travel, train travel, bus travel.
And then the woman, and then
Then walking
yeah.
by hearse. Where's
Wagon
the
train.
where's the hearse to the bus?
Sometimes right next to one another, right?
I'm just saying that a Greyhound scares me.
We're,
man.
we're at Champy's again, resetting that. Great menu. Come see us. Great beer
What
selection.
is
Really
happening?
cool place. No,
You're doing character bits and you're doing the redraw.
I just wanted to bring up that when I walked in,
Getting ready for when
Sterling,
Maggie's here. Maggie doesn't want to drive, so one of us gonna have to.
Sterling was laughing about the reviews on the hotel yesterday.
Yeah,
Oh yeah,
Those were great.
How great is Sterling? by
he's
the way?
a super dude. That's why people need to support him.
I mean,
we need 100 Sterlings.
Oh,
oh
gosh,
my
yes.
goodness!
The world would be a
I'd
better
take
place.
50 Sterlings.
Yeah.
Jason asked favorite scary movie. I'm not a big scary movie guy.
I'm not out there, but The Shining is great.
Yeah.
It's fantastic.
scary movie or like
I
thriller. I
he
mean, like
just
a
said scary movie.
Freddy Krueger. Like I don't know what that.
Yeah, psychological thriller. I go 7.
7.
like-
Okay,
Oh,
then,
I like
yeah.
7. I watched that.
Horror film. I would go The Shining.
All right, now this is a 2-part question. Will starts it. Who is the least favorite guest you've ever had on the show? Before you answer, Landmine Believer follows up, says, got to be Dale Jr. or Ralphie May. Rest in peace.
No, not a one for me.
Ralphie May was bad. I just didn't dislike him. He was just bad that one time.
Why is
He
Dale
was,
Jr.
he was
on
good
the
one
list?
time, Rocky.
Yeah, he's good. We had it probably 2 or 3 times,
Yeah.
and y'all had him the one time, and he started bombing, and he started reaching for
Yeah.
political stuff.
Yeah, he tried to go.
That's probably my fault. I probably.
Yeah,
I'm
that's-
sure it was.
'Cause he was looking at Jim.
I've got 3
Yeah.
that stand out to me.
Dale Jr., we've had him multiple times. I think the one he's talking about was the time we had him in person. He joined us and co-hosted the show out at Talladega.
Talladega, yeah.
right.
But
And
remember, he was sitting out of NASCAR with a concussion, and I'm
Right.
just not sure he was right during that
No,
interview. He
was
seemed kind of spaced out and
Yeah.
had to reach for his words.
a little medicated.
Yeah. So I've never held that against him. It wasn't a great interview. I wouldn't pretend that it was, but he was incredibly nice to us. And I
was.
just don't think he was in a right spot at that point. I don't know if you felt the same way, Lance.
I did. I've got 2 that weren't with you. It was me and Rocky. Chris Johnson, who was leading the NFL in rushing
Oh,
when he
that's
joined
awful.
us.
Yeah, he was not at all. I remember listening to it.
I didn't know what was going on. I mean,
don't think
it
he
was
did either.
it was short
He was in the
answers.
locker room. There was a lot of noise in the
Yeah,
background.
Couldn't understand it. The other was Brad Smith when he was playing at Missouri before he went on and played in the NFL. Brad Smith was a really good quarterback at Missouri, and then he ended up returning kicks. Was kind of a hybrid player for the Jets for a long time. But he was one-word answers, and that was it.
Didn't I cut somebody off one time, like one question in it? He gave us a latitude, and I was like, I tell you what, we're just going to go ahead and let you go.
I
I can't remember who that is,
Yeah,
but
you
it seems
did.
like I did.
Yeah,
It
that
was
to
at
somebody.
Jocks. We were
Yeah.
up top too the last couple of years.
Yeah. I don't remember who that was.
Yeah, it seems like he was.
I
He had been a
was-
jerk when Rockstar had dialed him in, and
Well, there's one guy that every time I call him, he'll say, "Hey, I only have a few minutes. I got a flight in a couple minutes. I only have a few."
Yeah, we've about quit having him on though.
Like it's
Um,
probably
I'm
the past
okay.
5 times.
I
Initials?
am to the point where we're okay. If you come in
Initials?
one day and say we don't have any guests today, I'm okay with that.
JD.
No, I know who it is. 100%. I
The,
knew before you even said it.
Yeah. I was asked this the other day on the golf course. In fact, favorite interview, least favorite interview. And I had to tell him, I said, my favorite interviews probably are not going to be sports related. I'll tell you, one of my favorite all-time interviews was Adam Richmond.
It was awesome.
He was fantastic.
Absolutely.
From Man versus Food.
And
He was
did we send him that gear or did he buy that gear?
No, we sent
We
it to
sent
him.
that gear.
But, I
Okay.
mean,
but he wore it.
Yeah.
He wore it
Yeah.
and took a picture with it.
Yeah.
I like that. I
think they're trying to get away from us. They just asked to move a table.
Maybe.
Um,
Don't blame him.
least favorite for me is Chris Kattan.
We'll know if they
Yeah.
like us at all. If they
That
go
was
in
going to
there
be my least
pull
favorite
the-
too.
pull that cable out.
Chris Kattan was my least favorite. Just
Awful.
we ask him a Saturday Night Live question, and he answers it. Then we ask him a second one. He goes, "Is all we're going to talk about Saturday Night Live?" And
Well, if it was a bad interview, that interview was literally probably 3.5 minutes long. I mean,
Yeah.
you guys wrapped it quick once
Yeah.
he said the Saturday Night Live stuff.
yeah, we told him. Yeah,
Hey,
I mean,
man, what's up, Cody?
we didn't have anything else to talk to him about
Yeah.
Rockstar. He's never done anything but Saturday Night Live or Night at the Roxbury, which is a Saturday Night Live skit. I mean, what are you going to
Corky
talk about?
Romano?
A Saturday Night Live skit.
No, that was a movie. Corky Romano.
But was it not first to Saturday? It
I
wasn't.
don't think
Okay,
so.
well, it sucked like one. It did.
I'm trying to think of. I'll tell you who's one of those super surprising because there's some people I don't understand how they do it. Is they can come in and they see me first and they're real quiet and shy and down and like on their phones and everything and kind of one word answers with me. But then when they go in the studio, the light comes on and it is just adrenaline.
I'll give you one that.
Tom Arnold.
Tom Arnold.
Yeah, Tom
great.
Arnold.
So shy and so like with me, he was because he was with me for a segment before he came on with you guys, and then like he was just one word answers with me on his phone, just like super tired, and he gets on and you couldn't get him to shut up.
Yep.
But Gary Owen. Was
Gary
the
Owen.
best.
I was about
Yeah,
to say
Gary.
nobody has ever given us more than Gary Owen, and it's every time.
Yeah.
Yep.
He never disappoints.
Love him.
So
Yeah.
good.
Yeah, I would. We could interview Gary Owen every day for.
You
all
know, I don't
care.
know if we'll get the opportunity. He's gotten so
Yeah,
big.
he is.
Yeah, he wouldn't come to Birmingham still. You don't think?
I've looked at the schedule. I don't see him booked anytime
Yeah,
soon.
but sometimes it's Alabama Theater now.
Yeah.
Or the Lyric.
Yeah.
It's different places all over town. We're such a hotbed right now. Love the comedy club. When we can get out there to Stardome. That's one of my favorite nights of though I don't remember it, the night I did stand-up comedy there. That
Long
was
night.
I forget who the headliner was, but he
Jim
told
Dunaway.
no, the guy who was the real headliner, the real professional comedian. He told me, he goes,
When he got on stage, he was like, "You know what? That last guy, Jim Dunaway, doesn't have a watch."
he did. But
Who followed Dunaway that night? It's a local guy.
oh,
yeah,
that
that
was
was him.
the
What was his name?
Was it Jeff Dunham? Maybe.
No, Jeff
No.
Dunham's the guy with the puppets. What
he
is
was
that
the main
guy's
guy.
name?
The 13 news girl was.
Oh, Eunice Elliott.
yeah, she was in between us.
Yeah, there was another local guy, and he was good.
Yeah, he was fantastic.
Oh yeah, he was
Yeah.
really good.
But he told me before I went out there, he goes, you'll get the bug after this. You'll go out there, you'll kill it. I remember him saying that you'll kill it in your 3.5 minutes.
Yeah.
And I said, no, I have actually got to go 7.5 to pay this off. Ended up going 23.
Yeah.
But he said the bug will get you.
Did it get you?
When I came off, he asked me that. And I said, no way. I'll never do it again.
Always finish on top, Lance. That's what we always say. Leave him wanting more.
I don't remember anything I said.
No.
I've never gone back and watched the
You don't have your
video.
notes. You had like 15 notepads.
Oh, I
on the-
remember that.
I
one.
don't remember anything outside of you talking something about your grandmother, like saving a bunch of grocery bags.
I don't remember that, but yes,
Yeah.
she did.
That's the only thing I remember. But I remember it not being terrible.
Really?
Yeah, I really do.
It's impressive.
John enjoyed our show with Tony Curry. What is all of your background with him? I started when I first started at Jocks back in 2000. I always forget the year I started at Jocks. It was either 2000 or 2001. I think it was one. Tony was actually the afternoon guy on Rock 99.5. And as far as afternoon radio guys go, I mean, he was the biggest in the really, I shouldn't even qualify it that way. Tony was one of the biggest radio celebrities in
Oh.
the city.
I mean, that whole station,
Yeah.
because it was Val did some music
By
at a
then,
shift. Lori Ray.
By the time I got there, the morning show I think was Rich. It was one of the
Richard Dixon,
iterations of
Lisa
Dixon.
Mason.
Yeah, Lisa Mason and Richard, I believe, were the
Yep.
two. Mason and Dixon morning show, because he made the joke. Somebody left and Lisa came in and he made the joke. We managed to find somebody else with Mason as the last name. So it was Richard and Lisa, Lori Ray in the middle of the day, and Tony in the afternoons playing classic rock.
And he had Blazeman at night.
And Blazeman in Orlando overnight.
Orlando
That's back when
overnight.
Orlando still used to do live.
That was when I remember Orlando the most, because
Yeah.
I probably hear him more than I did anybody else.
And
back then.
I think what happened too is, so we used to do a 1 hour roundtable forever ago when I first started. And I had Tony on a couple of times. And I think Tony enjoyed it. And I think our then market manager, I think it was Dale Daniels, I think he was the one that had the idea to put Tony on and move us to 2 hours.
Yeah.
He kind of reformatted Jocks back then. And the funny thing is, Tony and I only lasted a year together. It was a fun year. And Rocky was producing us.
Mhm.
But we would have Doug Gottlieb on. And Doug reached out to me one day randomly. I'll never forget. I was at my second house. I was downstairs. It was before Jack. We just had Leighton. She was a baby. Gottlieb calls me and he's like, I need a co-host to do ESPN Nights with me.
It's such a good story. I forgot about
I've
this.
never told this on the air.
Yeah, it's such a good story.
And he said, I think you'd be really good. He was like, here's what I need you to do. I need you to put some tapes together, send them to my producer, and she'll take a listen and get back with you. So I had a conversation with her. I sent her tapes. And the next thing I know, they reach out to Tony Curry.
They listen to the tapes like, I like that other guy. Yeah.
That's what she reached out to Tony. They flew him up to Bristol. And I remember I was listening and I was happy for him, because honestly, people don't understand this. You guys do. ESPN works your ass off.
Yep.
For us to be able to do what we do, we make a good living. We know a lot of people in this town. It's a much better living for me. I even knew that back then. So I was happy for Tony to have that opportunity. But I remember he went on the air. Thank you, Sterling. You're the best. He went on the air, and they were talking about, for whatever reason, Lance Armstrong, and he called him Lance Taylor.
Oh, Tony did.
The very first segment with Doug Gottlieb.
Hilarious.
And Gottlieb was like,
So good. You know, the funny thing, I'm good. Thank you, Sterling. The funny thing about Gottlieb is when Auburn fired Tony Barbie, you remember he was calling us like, hey, I want to get that Auburn job. Y'all have me on all you want, man. I want to get that Auburn job. They got Bruce Pearl, by the way.
Yeah.
Doug.
your first head coaching job from radio host to coaching Auburn in the SEC.
Oh, and by the way, they hired Bruce Pearl. Maybe a better hire.
That seemed to have worked out.
Yeah.
Gottlieb.
So
not one of my favorites.
But when the funny thing about Tony is when I first started, I was producing Herman Ray and a guy named George Rivers, or Herman Ben, a guy named George Rivers. You remember George?
He was one of my first producers.
Yeah, George ran
Purple bandana.
Yeah, George ran the board, and I would just kind of hang out in the control room.
Is he still alive?
I don't know.
No, he passed.
Did George
Did he really?
passed? I didn't know that,
figured
Rockstar.
probably
He had
did.
diabetes, did he?
Did I know that?
Yeah, I think he did. I mean, this is probably
he-
over 5 years ago.
Yeah. So I would just kind of hang out in the control room, and Tony, there were only 3 computers at Citadel Broadcast. I think it was at that. Only 3 computers that had internet access, and one of them was in that room. So Tony would always come in to get updated baseball scores because he had action on the games. He'd be like, "Hey, what's that Cincinnati score?" And I'd pull hey, what's the Giants score? Hey, were the Cubs winning? Are they winning by 3? So that was my first introduction to Tony. I loved him. He got me out a speeding ticket one time. You all remember, like, when you'd go to the bottom of the hill and you'd go across Green Springs?
Yeah.
And you're top of the hill, there was a cop at the bottom by Jim and Nick's, and I was flying down that hill, and he pulled me over. And that next day, I went to Tony. I was like, hey, when you're at Jitterbugs tonight, can you talk to the Homewood cop and see if he'll get me out of the ticket? And the dude did. What? What?
That's just think it's funny.
I have got
Tony knows a Homewood Cup. I'm gonna see.
I'm
No,
sitting
I
here-
knew he was at Jitterbugs.
Oh.
They always had a cop there. Yeah.
I'm running through my head. I got so many Tony stories. I just can't tell them on the air.
Tony with me, he was surprised I said yes because I was at NBC 13 and he was like, you know how Tony is. He just called you out of nowhere and he's like, hey, I want you, Tony Curry, right 99, hosting it was the battle of something at Jitterbugs, Naval Wars or something.
Oh,
what it
yeah,
was.
yeah. I saw the naval battles. I saw it at
naval
Senior
battles.
Frogs.
Naval battles.
Yeah. I need a celebrity host and was wondering if you could come down. I forget what night it was during the week.
Do you have Ken Lass's number?
And I said, so what happens? And he explained to me what it was. I said, hell yeah, I'll be there. He goes, your TV people aren't going to mind. I said,
Well, I'm not going to ask them.
they're not going to mind.
Do you guys remember the promotion they did? And they took a flight somewhere. You know what I'm talking about? Maybe it was to Talladega. It's a private flight. There were some listeners on there. But when they got back, there were 2 feet prints on the ceiling.
Yeah, I do remember this.
It's the way I fly. Why does everybody always question the way my flight method?
And what was crazy was 2 left feet.
Let's see.
Got to work that one out in your head, Rockstar.
Hold on.
Joey wants to ask you to do Gangster's Paradise Friday in the lounge. Do you do a
I
version
actually
of
did
Gangster's
it. I did
Paradise?
a version of. I can't do the rap part, but I can do the chorus and the bridge.
I could try with you.
Yeah. If you do Coolio's part, I'll do what's the other dude's?
It's some preacher, right?
Yeah, it is Preacher.
I'll do him. This is the song version of him.
Brandon and I will do the choir in the back.
We'll do Amish Paradise, Weird Al Yankovic.
I don't like any of the
Okay.
spinoffs. I don't like
Okay.
the spoofs.
Paul
I'm a
says
traditionalist.
he agrees the worst was Chris Kattan or John Mechie. God bless Mech. He was good sometimes, but
Needed him in that national championship game.
Hey, wait, let me do my impersonation of Medge. Y'all ask me a question.
You're too centered up on the camera.
Lance, Mitch, I hear you have you said you've been watching a bunch of your favorite shows this weekend. What is your favorite show?
A lot of them.
I don't remember.
Yeah, they're good.
Could
No, but you literally said you were watching your favorite shows all weekend.
yeah. Which one was it that you were watching right before you came over
Oh, the Thursday one.
with us? Yeah,
A lot of them.
literally paid him for that, by the way.
A lot.
Yeah. Riley says his favorite
you
was.
have to admire Bryce Young, though. He at least had enough trust to throw to him, knowing he was going to be there.
Yeah.
Because I never could throw to
I
him,
know,
knowing he was going to be
God,
there.
Not a good reciprocator.
Lot of-
Reciprocator.
All
Come on.
right. Riley's favorite was Barry Switzer. I remember the Barry Switzer interview vividly because we were at Ramone's for a Christmas. Like people were bringing coats, right, to donate to the needy or something like that.
Or just gifts or something.
Yeah, something
I
like
think
Toys
Lance-
for
I
Tots,
think-
maybe.
I think Lance got a coat. Everyone else was bringing
No,
toys.
that
See,
was,
you know what year
that
that
was the
was?
same one. It was the same one where you negotiated with Dunaway. You wiped
Yeah.
his steaks for his store credit.
Two of them.
Lance traded steaks. I swear.
Yeah.
Dunaway
My
had
store, my store credit had stacked up because you could only have so many suits,
right.
and I had like 9.
Yeah.
And
So
It was 2013.
okay. So yeah, well, I definitely know what it was because Auburn. The whole reason we had him on was Auburn was playing Oklahoma in the Sugar Bowl. Remember? And that we were going to preview Auburn, Oklahoma, and we never talked anything about that game because Switzer took over.
I thought that was. I guess that
yeah.
was 2014 Sugar Bowl.
Yeah, it would have been 14 because 13 Auburn was in the national championship game.
Yep.
Yeah.
You're right.
We were supposed to have him on this format, and I called him.
Nope. No, we
was
were
it Alabama,
Oklahoma. That's
Was it?
what
I thought it was
It
Auburn,
was
Oklahoma.
2013. There's a reason I know that. I'm not going to talk about it right here.
Okay.
There's a reason I know that.
All right.
It was definitely 2013.
We had him scheduled on this format, and when I called him, he said, "I cannot do the damn interview because I'm in my damn truck and there's too much traffic. I just don't want to do an interview." Like it was like,
And it's a stick shift.
Yeah.
It was a stick shift.
but he's like, "I'm in my damn truck,
Yep.
and there's too much damn traffic."
So Dunaway used to do endorsements, what we call in the biz endorsements. Like I'm Jim Dunaway for Ramones, and you got store credit for it instead of cash.
Instead
right?
of cash. store
Because you
credit.
were in TV, so you were having to buy a ton of suits, so it made sense. So he had all this credit built up, and LT's like, Dunaway, you see that jacket? You see that jacket over there?
LT had already tried it on.
Yeah.
He'd been over here.
Yeah. You see that jacket over there? I really like that jacket. I'll wipe 2 steaks if you'll just use some of your store credit on that jacket.
Was it that jacket and something else, or was it just that jacket?
No, it was just that was an expensive jacket.
You still wear
I
it?
still have it. Yeah, I was thinking about that. That is one of my guilty pleasures for a lot of people that shoes. I love outerwear, so I've got a ton of jackets, but I still mix it in. I still wear it
Yeah.
a little bit.
But then
Probably need to bring it to the studio tomorrow.
yeah, parka.
Hey, I wore this just because I'm not going anywhere indoors anymore without some kind of layering.
So Dunaway had to go buy it though because it was on his store credit. So he's buying a coat that looks like Lance and fits Lance, and Dunaway's up there buying it. So they were like,
"Sir, do you want this wrapped?" "Yeah, I think so. Gift wrap. Yeah, please."
And it seems like somehow I ended up paying for that out of pocket. Somehow
probably?
Ramon wasn't there to give me my store credit or something,
I can see that.
and I never got that back. You know
Mike-
what? I was in a hold on real quick. I was in a wine club when I came back in 2015 from wine country, and would get these boxes of wine shipped to me.
I got some of those too.
Yeah, we wiped some steaks off of
Yeah,
that. He
those-
liked the wine.
Those
and
are good.
He was like, yeah, every one of those you give me, they were like $100 something.
We really don't have steak bets anymore. We used to fire those things off.
What do you mean?
No, did we? I mean, seriously, it was like 1 or 2 a week.
We just sat
Yeah.
here and canceled out.
We
with-
would also always go. Yeah, but those were long-term bets. That was a USFL bet, and what was the other? Tennessee.
It was the Bandits and Tennessee.
Tennessee
baseball.
was a 2-week bet. USFL was a couple of month bet. A little Kirk Hammett.
Yeah. Oh my God.
Yeah.
What's wrong with the hair? He's got a headband.
Yeah, not Kirk's hair.
He had headphones on, doesn't he?
Lead guitarist for Metallica. By
No,
the
he
way.
doesn't.
I don't know what's going
I
on.
thought he had headphones on.
Yeah.
Where are y'all talking about? Up there on the TV?
The
hockey
NHL
game?
awards.
But
yeah.
you know, we used to go into every week and we would be like, "Hey, let's find something to have a steak bet on."
Lance pushing hard. He likes his.
Yeah, he doesn't like us being even right now.
Kevin says his former brother-in-law owned a restaurant on 280 years ago. It had a menu item named after Tony because of how often he came in there. Do you guys remember going in anywhere that had a Tony Curry menu item?
Or was it called the Bone?
It could be it. I don't know. Was it Sweet Bones, Alabama?
Mm.
Well, I tell you what, right out of the chute, Sweet Bones, Alabama had a good product.
Really quick. Yeah.
Early on, man, that was a good product. I
Yeah,
like
it's a
that
fun place to hang out.
It
We
was a
had
fun place to hang out.
Clay Travis's outkick the coverage kickoff party.
Yep.
The launch party. Yep.
And we watched.
Is that when Bruno was throwing rocks at something and got in
He
trouble?
was throwing rocks at a sign. He
Yep.
crushed the Summit sign.
We watched. We watched a Arkansas LSU game there on one Black Friday.
That was
You
a
remember
jump
that?
the shark day. Yep.
A Jump the Shark Day. Oh, that
For
was
the
day-
restaurant. Yeah.
that was the day you played.
That was the last time at that restaurant.
That was
That
the day you put the
was-
black veil on.
That was the day you had to take C-Stu to Stars.
Yeah, I did. I had to take the C2 from there just to thank you, Brown. You're welcome, C2.
Oh, Arkansas was up 14-0. Adam played for the national championship that year. You guys remember that against
I
Alabama?
do.
I had the epiphany.
Yep.
We were at SEC Media Days, and I was like, Alabama and Arkansas are going to play for the national championship.
Yeah, you sounded like an idiot saying that,
Yeah,
but
I
as it
did.
turned out,
But
You're
going
pretty
into
close.
that game, it was
yeah,
LSU won, Arkansas 2, Alabama number 3.
Yeah, and Arkansas seems like to play with them for a little bit, didn't they?
They were
And
up
it just-
14-0.
and it got away from them.
Yeah.
Michael says Matt Jones was the worst interview. Well, I don't know that it was a bad interview. He
was
didn't like
just a
it.
dick.
Yeah,
I
he didn't
mean,
like the Lance question.
Yeah, I mean,
By the way, you're right about that. I mean, Joey Gatewood is now a receiver
Yeah.
at Central Florida.
Yeah, I just asked what I thought was a normal question.
No,
I
you asked a
asked a
fine
bad
question.
question. I'll tell you who else was a dick when I asked him a question. John Brady, the ex-LSU coach.
Oh, that's been forever ago.
Really?
Yeah. And
Well, I mean, Brady could be that way.
the question was something like, I forgot. They were up 25, blew the lead, still won.
They cover.
I was like, is there something, gratifying about, or something you can teach your team about blowing that kind of lead but still winning the game?
Oh, and he didn't like
yeah,
that.
he was just a dick about
Yeah.
it. He's not a nice guy, though. Griff loved him.
He's always been nice to me.
Yeah.
Tom Brady?
Yeah.
We get asked this a lot. Paul says we need Verno back on the show. Why won't he come on anymore?
I don't even know what Verno does now.
Well,
Neither do I.
it's schedule oriented. I mean,
Yeah.
his show's on the same time ours is.
When we got out of the mornings and went back to the middle of the day,
Yeah.
it coincides with what he's doing for the Ringer.
yeah, he
and-
came on with us some of the mornings.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we used to be great friends. When he would come in town, he would stay with me.
Because he used to do afternoon radio. Right.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yep.
And so when he got out of afternoon radio and went to the middle of the day, it became harder on him having kids in the middle of the day show to be on in the mornings with us when they moved us to mornings, which we didn't like. And then when we moved to the middle of the day, we're on at the same time.
I will tell you, one of the for lanceslog.com, one of the biggest spikes I ever got is I went on the Ringer and I did an hour with him. And I mean, I got a customer from Hawaii, one from Oregon, one from Washington State.
Salina.
So I was like, can I come back on next week?
Yeah. No, we're good. All right. Well, that's been an hour. Unless
Well, I
you
know I
guys
got
want
to
to
ask
keep
my
going. All right,
question.
fire away.
Yeah,
Let's keep
keep
going.
going.
I mean, what are they going to say?
Okay, so
We're going to keep going overtime.
That's right.
Overtime.
on the way here, well, I actually had two questions. So I'll ask
Okay.
you the first one will be easy. Y'all can answer that quickly. The second one will take a little longer. First one, if you were single and you could date any woman in sports, who would it be?
So if he had never met Jennifer,
Yeah. Or
Nancy.
divorced, whatever.
Okay.
You know,
I don't
you're
want to be
single.
divorced.
Okay.
I want to have not met Jennifer.
Okay.
any woman in sports.
Yeah. And sports history. How about that?
Oh, sports history.
Oh, Steffi
wow.
Graf.
Wow. Sports
Smoke,
history?
smoke show.
yeah. You could go Cornucopia here.
No, sports history, though.
Sports history.
I've got to.
This is gonna be crazy. I'll go on and answer mine.
Okay.
I think it would be say hey Kay Adams.
Oh, whoa! I
okay.
thai you meant like an athlete.
No,
okay.
no, I instantly
Oh.
went broadcaster.
Yeah. Okay.
I, mean,
Yeah,
I think I
I
would go Kay Adams.
I was going to go early Monday Night Football, Melissa Stark.
I like
Yep,
Melissa
yep,
Stark a lot.
I would go there too.
yeah.
Yeah. But
Tell me
Kate,
she was over 18, right?
Yeah,
well,
yeah,
Dunaway,
yeah.
she was on NBC. I would hope so.
So-
It's a protege. I mean,
but I
what do
mean-
they call it?
Kay Adams, Melissa Stark right now. I mean,
I
you
think
guys,
I think both in their prime. I'd go Kay Adams.
I don't know who Kay
I,
Adams
I
is.
think Melissa still does now well as
Oh,
an older
I
woman.
agree.
Yeah.
But Kay Adams is absolute smoke.
I'm a fan of Carissa Thompson too. If I was
Um,
single, had never met Maggie.
There's a. Hang on, I'm going to see if I can find.
I like the new Sports Center anchor.
Oh yeah, the girl that had to learn to walk again.
Yeah.
Yeah, she is pretty.
Yep.
Lost the
And the-
ability to walk for some reason. What was it done? She had some rare disease or something.
Yeah, amazing story. Virus, I think,
Yeah,
and battled back from that.
yeah. I'm trying to find this girl I'm thinking of here.
But there's a lot, LT. I mean, I could start reeling them off.
Well, what about Sharapova? You were a fan of her, right?
Yeah, but I like Cornucopia a lot. better.
Cornucopia?
Yeah.
Yeah. So she wouldn't.
Nah, I think it probably would go Kay Adams, Melissa Stark. No, Kay Adams, Cornucopia, just because of the exotic Eastern Bloc.
Right.
Right.
And then I would go Melissa Stark.
I want to see what Cornucopia looks like now. If she's got anything, she's still with Enrique Iglesias.
I don't think so. I bet she still looks good because she was young back then. She's probably only 40.
You know who? I mean, it's not that I don't find her attractive, but I've never understood how everyone goes so crazy over Erin Andrews.
Oh no, I liked her in her day.
Yeah, I've always enjoyed her work. I think she does a
And
terrific
this
job.
is a first time admission on the air.
You were the people camera guy.
I think in '99 in
You had a shot?
Gainesville. No, I
Oh,
think,
you're going to say this on the air, huh?
yeah, I think
Yeah.
we had shots. Yeah, I think so. I mean, everybody swears that I was with it was her because it was a girl named Erin who
right.
was an undergrad at Florida, and
Wow.
had a couple of shots. Yeah.
Good for you.
Well, it was just shots.
Oh, shots, like literal shots.
Penicillin,
Yeah.
stuff like that.
yeah. What?
Do you have all your inoculations?
No, I just thought you'd hooked up.
No.
God, Dunaway. Jeez. Don't make it.
I was
Make it any more awkward than.
Thought you'd gone through the
I was
drive-through window.
engaged then, Dunaway.
I'm sorry. I don't timeline. Thought you hadn't met anybody.
Rockstar, did you answer?
By the way, I'm never great at holding state secrets.
Yeah, really. Do
Yeah.
not tell Dunaway unless you want everybody to know.
She's 5'8",
Billie Jean King for you, Rockstar?
Kornikova's
Yeah.
5'8". Is she 40?
so she's 41. But
Yeah.
this is a picture from 2009. Like, there's no updated pictures of her. 3 children.
Yeah, she probably looks different.
You're still a Bob Lee guy?
I liked it when he had the beard. When he had the beard, it was lit.
Bearded Bob Lee.
I will do someone. Who did I see on the watch recently? Is it Alex Morgan? The
Oh,
soccer
yeah,
player?
the
soccer
soccer
player?
girl.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I like her a lot too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There you go, Alex Morgan.
Yeah.
All right.
And then Rapinoe right behind her.
Alex Morgan's like a girl that you could meet on a late Saturday in Galette's.
A late Saturday.
Yeah.
She's not going to be there early.
Or running in the park.
Yeah. So y'all want my other question?
Well, hang on. I'm going to Google this person. Somebody mentioned in the chat room a girl named Jane Kennedy.
Ooh, I've never heard of Jane.
She's at American television. What does she do?
Jane.
It says
Kennedy.
she's 70 years old. How is
Well,
she
who was the chick? The gray. What was her name?
Pat Gray?
Pat Gray.
Oh, yeah.
She was on NBC
She
13.
was from Alabaster when I was a kid.
Oh, you know who I randomly thought about
man.
yesterday?
Here's Jane Kennedy. Yeah, she is a looker.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
thought about Elizabeth Arts because
see.
I had her
Liz
on
Arts.
Those
the
arts.
1 hour
Round table.
round table back in the day, and she had the got table,
Mhm.
the tight
Yep.
shirt, and she
It was a
she would
wife
wear
beater,
it.
wasn't it?
Yeah, and
Yeah.
she had the little tramp stamp. She
Did
did.
you, Dunaway, you worked with Heather Unruh. She was
I
like the
did.
first girl on Birmingham TV that I saw that I was like, man,
Yeah, she looked good, but I thought Arts looked better.
She
her
did.
better than Heather Unruh.
I thought
did.
so.
Yeah, I wouldn't.
Unruh had more money, though. She had Boston money.
Yeah, like in Birmingham, the way I would go here's my top.
This
3.
is all time?
all time. I would go Rachel Lundberg was my favorite.
Okay.
Number 2, and we were good buddies. Number 2,
CBS
I probably
42, Rachel Lundberg.
would go Elizabeth Arts, and number 3, I would go Alexa Jones.
There you go. I worked with all three.
Jason says Kelly Hunter.
Oh yeah, Kelly. But you know,
Yep.
I feel like Kelly's like a sister.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
hard. Yeah, I worked with her
I
at
did too for a long
Jocks, and
time.
we've all got a good relationship with Kelly. Chad says Holly Saunders. She went off the reservation. I
Oh,
mean,
Have you seen her lately?
I have not.
I got to show you
No,
these
I
pictures.
swear,
no,
I mean-
she's gotten like Holly Saunders was a beautiful woman, but
I
she
know
has
when she was
done-
Golf Channel back in the day.
She has done crazy stuff to her face.
Like the girl that has turned into a
I think she's
an
OnlyFans.
Ask Me
now.
Now OnlyFans. I'm
Ask
sorry.
Me-
well, no,
Ask me now.
I
I can't wait. Gotta ask me now.
A new website. Ask Me Now.
I think she got away from it because she dates
Eric Casillas for a little
No.
bit, but then they broke
Oscar
up.
De La Hoya now.
Oh, that's right, Oscar De La Hoya. I forgot about that.
Pound for pound.
Y'all are going
Get
to
done away. Just
die.
it's the pound for pound.
Y'all are going to die when you
That's
see
right.
these
That's right.
pictures.
TJ,
her?
That's gonna be my career now. I
Yeah,
was gonna
but
say
you can't
little
see
short
her
things.
new face.
That's
there.
right. That's right.
face.
You bet. You bet.
You barely
Wait,
stay employed
can
that way.
you find her on Instagram?
That her?
Yeah, that's her.
TJ says Britt Decker.
Holly Sanders.
Oh, big fan of Brittany. I
Shy.
like Brittany. She runs marathons and really a giving girl. She does. She gives a lot to the community.
I've met her a couple of times. really don't know her though.
I don't know if I've ever
Okay,
met
so
her.
look how different her face is now.
Holly
Oh,
Saunders.
she's had surgery.
Well, that's heavily filtered too, though,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, but that's
her
I mean,
nose
it's-
is different.
Yeah, it's totally different.
She had a
than-
rhinoplasty. Yeah.
It's like she had somebody else's nose implanted on her.
Like if you went back
They had a
to,
nose transplant.
so she got De La Hoya a tattoo of him on her back.
Yeah.
Oh wow, that's permanent.
So that's when you knew she was crazy.
Mhm.
Yep.
But I think this is back when she
Uh,
was a little more normal. No,
that was plastic.
she's
The
got cheap
coconut. That
Oh yeah, wow.
is that how you drink a coconut?
That's the coconut
Well,
equivalent of a dirty martini.
You got to have a table.
Yeah.
Wow.
Philip asked if Kelly Hunter ever talks about being on that terrible Tuttle and Klein morning show on the X.
It was a Vulcan good time.
Wrong station, but yeah.
Kicks 106. Am I right?
Dunaway,
Boo.
Dunaway said, y'all were talking here. Dunaway said, that's going to be the new Dunaway. He's just going to throw in random phrases. That's right.
That's right. That's right.
Todd says Abby Chin.
Oh, my friend
Yep.
Abby.
We loved Abby.
Yeah. Do you want to tell the story about that?
I do not.
Okay.
She may be watching off season in Boston
I
now. She
know.
covers the Celtics.
Dunaway, by the
Uh,
way, with some of these girls used to throw me under the bus.
I
One
was-
time.
I was
No,
there for
one
that.
person.
It was
Nope.
brutal.
Name another one.
I know 3 for a fact.
Name one
I don't
more.
want to get into it, and they were all 3 CBS.
Name one more.
Well, I brought one up earlier. The other was
Lundberg?
no. She wouldn't listen to you.
Pat Gray,
Alyssa Jones? Alexa
Alyssa?
Jones?
Heather Unruh.
I may have had 2 conversations with Alexa Jones.
I'm not going to bring it up on the air.
Good thing you
The
did.
other, no, I didn't bring names up. The other was
No, Abby, no doubt.
No, you told Alex Cordry that I thought she sucked on the air.
Oh
I did
my
not.
God.
These people make
Yeah, you
this
did.
up.
No.
I did not.
No,
say
because
that.
I told because
I did not say
I
that.
did tell you that.
You did not.
I told you the first time she did a football hit, I was watching on my couch on a Friday night. She got stumbled, and we've all done this before, and you can't catch back up.
I don't even remember this.
Why'd you take your headset off? Rex?
Nope.
Yeah, and then I told you
No.
the next day or the next week
No.
when we were on the air, I was like, boy, she had a rough show on Friday. So then I see her the next week. She's like, she was upset. She was like, Jim told me that you thought I really sucked on the air.
No way.
Hey, you
No
think
way.
real
I'll text
quick,
her.
I
I'll
just-
text her right now. I'll
She'll
text
probably
her
remember
right
that
now.
exact
You
conversation.
can.
I'll
Yeah,
text her
you
right
can.
now.
Text her right now. Do you believe that she would just make this up? Either one of you guys.
Well, I was there for the Abby Chin thing. That was uncomfortable too.
I mean, I could see Jim didn't say it in those words, though. He didn't say,
Exactly.
Lance says you suck on the air.
And,
I could see,
and,
here's how I could see this happening.
and
I've done
even
Dunaway
the
all
Abby Chin thing was taken
Yeah.
out of context.
No,
Yeah.
what this was, and it was not needed, but it was a faraway cock block. That's what it was.
Oh. Well, we
No.
weren't doing a show together at the time.
We were doing a show
Yeah,
together.
that makes it even worse. So I think what happened
Maybe
here,
on one,
I think
not on
what-
the others.
I think what happened here was
3.
Jim was trying to play passive aggressive Dunaway, and he's like, so LT tells me he got tripped up on the air the other night. You know, you may want to work on this. I could see that happening.
Yeah,
And then she translated that into what LT says, like, suck.
Yeah, she framed it differently.
Yeah, I could see that happening.
How do I phrase this question to her?
We are talking
Do you
about
remember 15 years ago when I had a conversation with you?
Married, newly pregnant Alex Cordial.
Yeah, she's not going to care.
Yeah. Nationals used to do the Nationals.
But
games.
you could just tell her because she had that almost a West Virginia. She was from Maryland,
Right.
and she would the LT sounded so weird when she would say it. Just tell her that. Do you remember telling him that I said
What?
that he said you sucked?
Whoa, yeah.
Wow.
Got that,
Yeah,
got super,
I-
yeah,
I'll-
she'll know
I'll
exactly.
write it. Right. See
Yeah,
what we say.
you're right. See how it works.
Just text her, "Are you up?" Question mark.
She's gonna go new phone. Who does?
Lunsford says your Rockstar, your parody, Mr. Jones for Alexa Jones was incredible after she cheated in the chick bracket. Tell
Yeah,
me that story. I don't
I
remember that.
Oh, I vaguely remember. I just remember we did
So
a.
she stacked the votes. I do remember
Well,
that.
the Dunaway busted them on. So Dunaway was going both ways on this. I mean, he would have got hung for treason on two different countries because he was telling us that her and what was the other chick's name? Anna Donaldson.
Donaldson.
Anna Donaldson.
Yeah.
They were stuffing the ballot box.
Well,
I mean,
they found a way to like go through the cookies or whatever and like
Yeah.
and they
I
re-enable
told you
cookies
they were
and
doing that.
vote multiple
Yeah,
times.
and
So I
Dunaway
did Alexa
ratted-
Jones.
Dunaway
I
ratted
told
them
you
out.
they were doing that.
Yeah. Dunaway ratted them out, didn't he?
Because
You did.
full disclosure, they were raving about the how popular these two girls were, the exposure they were getting.
and
Well,
what
look
was
up-
the morning rating on that show?
Yeah, 0.
See, Stu watched it.
Yeah, so it was 0.2. But they were like, in meetings, they were raving. The GM Ballard was like, look at how popular these girls are. Look how many votes they've gotten in
Right,
this.
right. They were
And-
totally stuffing the ballot
And
box.
the IT guy had told me, they didn't get votes. I'm the one that's got the algorithms
Right.
going to where it's clicking
The IP addresses from the
clicking
same
a vote
computer.
every 5 seconds
Yeah.
or something. I was like,
So you made up a parody to Mr. Jones, the
It was
County
a-
Crow
I-
song?
Yeah, but it was like done in the studio downstairs, like where I had to pull the mic down in the control room and just play with it. I remember, and like she was in the studio when I did it, so it wasn't like I tried to hide it from her.
Lunsford says that's one of the segments he'd killed out from the old round table.
Yeah,
I think Lunsford was part of it then.
Look, there's a hard drive that might still exist at Cumulus Birmingham.
if we could just break in, let's go 1970s Watergate.
Well, I was going to
We
suggest
break in.
I was going to suggest we make a financial offer to them, but okay.
No, I like breaking in. They'll never miss it.
I like breaking the law rather than
I
just
hope
pay.
they get broken into tonight. It goes back to this tape.
I mean, seriously,
I
it's,
was in Alabaster.
Yeah.
listen though, it's of no value to them, right? Surely there's a reasonable monetary offer we could give them to get our old stuff.
I don't like the way you're talking.
Lance will wipe off
monetary.
2 steaks if they give it back.
But I mean, wouldn't you? They're never going to use it. Why would they not take money from us for it? And our people want
I
it.
think they probably would.
I think so too.
Why would they not just give it to us?
Oh, I would wish they would.
That's
but
what we'd start with. Bang the monkey. Make them give it to us.
Yeah. I mean, what good is it doing them to keep it, right?
Nothing.
Other than just to try to hurt us. It's not hurting us.
Are y'all ready for the other question?
Yeah. What's the second question?
Wait, I'm gonna before I'm sending it
Yeah.
straight.
See what you're saying.
Is that okay?
Did I ever tell you that LT thought you were bad on the air? We were discussing. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's
All
all right.
right.
Shoot it off.
Michael
right, there
said
it
he
goes.
loves Rockstar's Bama Auburn pregame bet. That's more copyright issues. That's not that
Yeah.
we don't own it. We just copyright. We could not do that on this platform. Sorry.
Okay, so here's my question as we await the response from Alex Cordry. Alex, what's her last name?
Chapel.
Chapel.
Oh, very good, bro.
Well,
Beat
she
me-
was on the
beat-
Nationals games.
Beat me to it.
We should watch it.
Okay, so
She's
on the
on the
way over
race too
here,
for you.
I had this discussion. I don't know how it came up, but the roommate is convinced that parents have favorite kids. And I said, I just don't. And she's like, you spend more time with Jack? And I said, yeah, I spend more time with Jack because my 19-year-old doesn't want to spend a lot of time with me. But when we're together, it's equal opportunity. And then I used, Brown's going to love this, Furio and Lucy, which you remember well. I didn't have a favorite. Lucy liked me better than Furio did, but I liked them the same.
Yeah,
I
but
just think most parents don't have a favorite. I could be wrong.
I always thought you liked one of those dogs better than the other because you had one of their pictures over your pisser, and it was just a single dog.
Yeah, but I had other dogs I had other pictures throughout.
Oh, see, that's the only one
Yeah.
I saw because
Yeah.
I'd use your
It was a
restroom.
digital frame. Would you, if you had Furio still today and you had Ladybird, what would be going on?
I will tell you,
Tough question.
That is a tough one.
Ladybird Ladybird's the queen now.
Lady Bird has taken number one.
Yeah.
And it's complicated
That's sad.
because, you know, if the roommate decides to bolt,
No, you don't have a prenup, a pre-pup.
It's so bad it was good.
His reaction made it even better.
Hey, I
too.
will
Like
tell you
he
though.
shocked himself.
I know.
He woke himself
Oh
up.
my God, I got one quick.
Now the sad thing is she spends more time with her and she pays for all her stuff. But I bought Lady Bird. I got the papers.
Oh,
Yeah, I think it's yours.
But I would never do that. So I don't know how it would work. I don't know if there's people out there. I bet we've got people listening that split dogs.
what are not
do you and
literally,
Bethany
but-
split Isabel?
No, Isabel's at the house right now, and Isabel and Lady Bird don't get along because Isabel is a biatch to other dogs. She's never been socialized, so
Yeah.
she doesn't like other dogs. We couldn't take her to the dog park yesterday. We had to leave her behind. But
We're going to the dog park. Am I going? No, you're not going. We're going to the dog park.
But it's kind of sad.
Our
Let the-
favorite Ladybird.
Let this be a lesson to you.
So I've been divorced 6 years in August.
6
Right,
years.
Yeah, it's crazy. So Isabel, she left that day and went with the family, which was fine. But every time she's with me, she sleeps on my pillow. And when I get up in the middle of the night to go to the bathroom, she follows me to the bathroom.
Wow.
She thinks you're leaving.
Today, when I went down to
It's a sad dog.
By the way, this-
she thinks you're leaving or
You're not-
cheating again.
You're not.
Get back in bed.
Yeah.
Don't break up
Okay.
the house.
Yeah.
Go
Okay.
back.
Thank you, Dunaway. 5:45 this morning, I get up to work out.
Rockstar, will you please?
Yeah.
Yeah, put that out.
And he's had 2 sips again. I'm going for number 4 out of the tub. So she comes downstairs at 5:45 this morning and sits on the mat and watches me work out. I mean, it's really sad.
It is kind
I
of.
really like what you're doing with your glutes. They're so taut.
Oh,
Don't
I
ever
don't-
answer my question.
I
though.
don't know. Well, see, here's the thing.
we have an answer. From
Well, Rockstar's
Oh,
only
wait,
got
well,
one kid, so
Cordry's answered. Hang on, let's see how this goes first.
Oh, she sent just a picture.
What?
Just a picture.
It's her. That's her Nationals World Championship ring. Why would she send that?
Because we asked did she suck. She covered the world champions. I guess that's Jock Peterson.
oh, here we go.
Oh.
Yeah. Kiss my World Series players ring.
Well, she didn't need to get beat up about it. Tell her this was back when she was covering high school football, and well, now this is going to admit I did it.
And what?
What should I write back? Ha, good one.
No, just say he's accusing me of telling you that. I really want to know.
He's accusing me of telling you that, and we really just want to know.
You mean that Siri?
It's crazy, right?
Did it work?
I don't know. I hope so. I don't have my glasses on.
Every text Dunaway sends me.
I'm
is-
driving down
is
the road.
Voice to text.
I'm
You're
driving
not right
down
now?
the road.
You're not right now.
I didn't
Every
want to
text you
type all
send me.
that out.
Wait, so she got a World Series ring for interviewing fans in the stands?
Well, yeah, it's just part of the TV
You
broadcast.
make paninis
Wait.
for a living, and you're gonna tell me?
Wait, so your name's Joe. You drove all the way from New Mexico to watch Nationals.
But did she do the interviews well?
Yeah, she was actually really good.
She was
No, I thought she
fantastic.
was really good.
You know how I met Alex?
I just said she got tripped up. I told Dunaway that in confidence, and he went and told her.
I don't remember you even telling me that. I think she did that to try to start a conversation with you. I think it was a
That is
pickup
good.
line.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Pickup line. Neil says, LT, did you spin in the top of a limo at the Billy Idol Des Dickerson concert at Boutwell?
Weird.
I'm going to say maybe he did, but he will not remember if he did.
No, I was 12, and
Oh,
Neil,
you were 12?
Neil was elbow to elbow with me, and yes, we did.
Wish Flint was there.
Michael was there. He wasn't with us, though.
A lot of
so
moving
glad
dots here.
Neil is.
Here we go.
tuning
Here we
in.
go. More from Alex.
No, moving dots. I mean,
Well, it means she's typing.
I may be blocked now.
Because y'all talk so much.
We text a lot.
She's obviously not cooking dinner.
She's pregnant, LT.
Oh, you think he
Listen,
cooks dinner?
you're
No, but he's a
incapacitated.
very successful lawyer.
I know. I'm saying that's what I'm saying.
This is my very successful lawyer husband.
Yeah. Are you pregnant?
Yeah.
So you're obviously not cooking.
Yeah.
What do you consider a successful lawyer? Like Sean's dad is a successful lawyer.
Yeah. I had somebody ask me about your dad the other day. You know, he asked me about you, and he's like, well, obviously I've heard of his father.
Obviously.
Obviously. And he knows your brother or something,
His
but I can't remember who I was talking
Son's
to.
such an embarrassment.
No, he knows
The
your
other,
brother.
the other son's a successful
No, he
attorney as well.
loves you, but he knows your brother.
He's good at them fart jokes.
Bob Sacramento Rockstar says this is as good as the Dundies.
Now I feel bad.
As good as the Dundies.
I love Bob Sacramento.
Oh, well, hang on. What's it say? Read
Read-
it out. You got to read it out loud. Now
read
we've
it
read the
out
rest
loud.
of them. Go. Read it out loud. Don't pre-read.
Oh, wow. It was over a decade ago. I can't believe it's been that long. But if that was the case, I really have no idea. I don't think so. Why would you tell me that? Just like, why would you tell me that now?
Yeah.
Yeah,
All right.
boy, we opened
Conversation over. It was a
Yeah,
bad, if you're scoring
yeah,
at home, bad
another-
decision
sure
to
was.
text.
But anyway, that's fact. That is fact. I'll go back to my left nut and bet it on that.
A lot of stuff's on that left nut.
It really
Still,
is.
we got still
a lot riding on that thing.
Tell Cordier we got a left nut bet on this one. She might want to clear it up.
I just
And
let
tell her
go
I would have
for it.
texted her, but she blocked me.
I think I am now too. Gotta hate when I lose friends over you, LT.
Oh, yeah. When's the last time you? Let's just see the last time you text.
no,
You're
no,
gonna have to
no,
do
we
it.
don't need to do that. We don't need to do that. It was congratulations on the pregnancy. I think
It was May 31. I'm looking
Yeah,
at it right
okay,
here.
okay.
But now that's his first message. Do you clear
3
your
a.m.
message? No. Do you clear your messages out?
No, I think it does it automatically.
Yeah, that started doing that on mine too, and I don't
Really?
like that. Yeah, I don't clear my messages out because sometimes I need old information.
I assumed it was the last update.
I got 21 unread messages right here.
Oh, I can't stand
Where do you find that? The
Where do you
unread
find what?
messages.
Huh?
Unread messages.
Well, you'll have your number right there. Go back to your main
I am getting a
screen.
lot more telemarketing calls.
Oh, that's
lately.
weird
To
that it
anybody
doesn't have your
else?
number up. See, look. See mine. Oh, shoot.
Oh, but I take all my notifications off.
Oh,
So
well,
do
that's
I.
why. See, I got 21 unread messages, and I
Oh.
got 44 calendar dates that I haven't added for my wife, which bugs her to no end.
I got one missed FaceTime. You guys ever get FaceTime calls?
Occasionally for my kids.
I got one from my younger brother.
How about that? Well, I think we've exhausted
Yeah.
our time here.
Yep.
Don't
I'm
you
gonna
like
get some
that?
food.
Yeah. All right.
My buddy Todd just said, just texted me, odds that Alex just blocked you, laughing emoji. Yeah, pretty high.
Text her and ask, did you block me?
Was that Eagle?
Yeah.
Why would you tell me that now? She did show you the Heisman though with a ring though.
She
Didn't
did.
Put you in your place.
All right. Champy's world famous fried chicken, Highway 119, Alabaster. Come see them. Enjoy a great meal. Good for tailgating during football season. Good for parties. Good anytime. Champy's world famous chicken. Try those world famous Mississippi Delta hot tamales, chicken on a stick, chicken fingers, po' boys. Come see our buddy Sterling and all the crew here. It's a great place.
It really is. We appreciate Sterling's been with us. He's been a day one rider.
Yes,
or
sir.
die guy. Yeah.
Yep. If you love supporting the people that have supported us, this guy was here day one. So
Yep.
support him.
So anytime you're in the area, 119, and we keep pushing him to open up another one somewhere else. So he has two.
Shout out 280.
Yeah, 280 would be great. We would take Hoover, Vestavia, and/or Homewood.
Yeah, one of my selling points on them with 280. It's probably a bad selling point. I was like, "There's always restaurants coming open there, so you, you could just move into one of the vacant
Hey,
ones."
there really is.
I know.
But you
It's
know
like a
what?
treadmill.
Most of them have been shitty restaurants,
Yeah.
and so like I told him this first time we came in. I was like, "You've got such a good product and a good concept that it would work 1,000% on 280."
I would be happy if he was at the office next to us at the Blue
Oh,
Lake Center,
God, no joke.
just so the heat from the kitchen could make our studio warmer.
Yeah, we do need that.
Yeah.
All right, that's going to do it. We'll see you guys tomorrow, 9 a.m. on the next round. Thanks for joining us from Champions. Have a great night.
Goodbye.
Bye.
Sincere friend.